If you're looking to boost the performance of your laptop GPU to the absolute next level, you've come to the right place. Because today, I'm going to show you how to optimize the shit out of it. So sit down, strap in, let's go. Hi there guys, it's Justin here. As I alluded to in the intro, I'm going to be taking you through steps or guidelines really to fully optimize your Nvidia laptop GPU. And in so doing, what we're going to do is be dropping temperatures, raising frequencies, and maximizing the performance of your GPU. So every time you do a fresh install, a clean install, load a new driver, upgrade from Windows 10 to 11, or even downgrade, it's vital that you follow these steps, because quite often if you don't follow these steps, you're going to be leaving performance on the table. So that's why I think this video is particularly important. So let's get to step number one. Right guys, so step number one is going to entail you following two links that I'll list in the description of this video. The first one will be to the official Nvidia drivers page. So just go ahead, click on that link, and then just enter your laptop's particular spec here, and then just search, and then it will load the latest Nvidia driver. Go ahead and download that. Currently it's on 526.47, so very good driver. Go ahead and download that driver. And then the second link will be to my mega page that I've unlocked for you. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and all these programs and scripts that are loaded into this folder, just double click on them, download them, and then once that's done, we're going to move on to step number two. So just go ahead and download all these little folders and programs. So once you've finished downloading all those little programs from Megaupload as well as the latest Nvidia driver, just go to your downloads, and then what I want you to do is on your desktop, just create a new folder called GPU optimization. Okay, and then all those programs that you just downloaded as well as the Nvidia driver, just cut that and then place it into GPU optimization. And that's step number one. So for step number two, I want you to go to your GPU optimization folder and then install the latest driver. So right click on this, press run as administrator. Unfortunately I can't do it because it's going to crash my recording software. So just go ahead and run as administrator, let it extract the latest driver, and then important, I want you to install the latest driver without GeForce Experience. So you go to advanced setup, and then do a clean install, and then only select the driver, untick everything else. So once you've installed the driver, it's going to take us to our next step. Step number three is once the driver is installed, I want you to right click or restart your computer, then right click the desktop, go to Nvidia control panel. Now I've already got settings that I'm going to use, so I'm just going to run you through the settings I would recommend. So first and foremost, go to your desktop and then untick show notification tray icon so it won't pop up over here, and then go back to desktop and then tick enable developer settings, and then that's going to unlock this little box over here, developer, and then go to manage GPU performance counters, and then just click allow access to GPU performance counters and hit apply. And then once that is finished, go to adjust image settings with preview, go use my preference emphasizing, and then it's going to unlock the slider, and then just slide the slider all the way to performance, hit apply. And then in manage 3D settings over here, just click this drop down. It's normally on auto select, go to high performance Nvidia processor, click apply. And then I've got my own little personal settings here because I like things to look a little bit nicer, but for purely performance sake, image sharpening will be off by default, leave it off. This all these, because we slid it to performance, all these options will be off. CUDA GPUs, set it to all. If you got dynamic boost, put it on. Low latency mode, select ultra. OpenGL rendering GPU, select your GPU. So it's normally on auto select. Go ahead and select your Nvidia GeForce, whatever it is. Power management mode, select prefer maximum performance. Shader cache size, other people say 10 gigs. I've done testing, you actually get the best performance with 1 gig shader cache. Texture filtering quality, for best performance you can go to high performance. I like my games looking a little bit nicer, so I select high quality. Threaded optimization, it's on auto, just go ahead and select on, and then yeah, you're done here. So just click apply, and then all the settings will apply. That brings us to the next step. Alright, for step number 4, go back to your GPU optimization folder, and then GPU-Z, just go ahead, run as administrator and install it. And then once it's installed, I've already installed it obviously, so I'm just going to open it here. Once it's installed, just open it up. Right, so at the bottom here, it's by default it's going to have your integrated graphics. Just click this drop down and select your graphics card, and then it's just going to load your graphics card settings and all that. And then where it says PCIe X times 16 blah 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 blah, just go ahead and press this little button over here, start the render test, let it run for about a minute, because what you want to do is, sometimes this is times 4 times 1.0 or whatever the case may be, just let it run for minutes, because it's going to push this number up. So it's running on 8 PCI lanes in PCIe 3.0. That's the maximum my graphics card runs up to. So just click this, start render test, run for about a minute, and if it hasn't got, or it should go to the maximum amount over here. If it hasn't, it's already by default set into the maximum power state. So just run that. And then the next thing is for the GPU clock. Importantly, well, no, for the default clock, sorry. The default clock over here for my GPU is 1545 megahertz. I want to find out what my boost clock is, because the next step that we're going to do is use MSR Afterburner to undervolt the GPU, but then also overclock the GPU to the boost clock. So you're going to get low temperatures, but you're also going to get high frequency for more FPS. Right guys, that's going to bring us to step number 5. So go to your GPU optimization folder, and then go ahead and install MSR Afterburner, the 465 beta version. That's the latest version that fixes the CPU usage issue that previously was with the latest version of MSR Afterburner. So just go ahead and install that. It's going to give you a prompt to install RiverTuner as well. Go ahead and just select install RiverTuner as well, because you need RiverTuner to display the statistics in the left hand corner when you're running your game. So once you've got MSR and RiverTuner installed, just go ahead and open up MSR Afterburner. Just go to the little cog over here, and then just select start with Windows, start minimized, and then make sure all of these little boxes are ticked, and then check for available product updates. Just go and select never, and then just untick check for available beta versions. Click apply, and then we're going to go to monitoring. And then look, this is not going to be in this order. You're going to have to drag, you're going to have to find these corresponding names, and you're going to have to drag and drop them. But the ones that you want to select, and first and foremost, before I even go into that, whatever whatever statistic you want to be displayed, just make sure to tick it and have it highlighted. And then once you've selected it and it's ticked, just select show on-screen display. So you're gonna do that for all these entries. So the ones that you want is GPU1 core clock, GPU1 usage, GPU1 temperature, GPU1 memory clock, GPU1 memory usage, GPU1 power, CPU power, CPU clock, CPU usage, CPU temperature, RAM usage, and frame rate. And just a friendly reminder, you want to make sure that the tick is highlighted on the side, and then for each entry you want to put in show on screen display. Once you've done that, hit apply, press OK. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to overclock, or in inverted commas, overclock your GPU to your boost clock. So it's always running at the highest frequency, as well as undervolt it to the lowest the lowest voltage. So we're getting the highest level of performance and the lowest temperature possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to click into Curve Editor. So once you're in Curve Editor, okay, so stock standard, a laptop GPU, the voltage is normally stock standard set between 1000 and 900. So what I want you to do is find the corresponding dot that matches up with 900. So it'll be this dot over here. And then whatever your boost clock was in GPU Z, then you're going to drag either this number down or up until it corresponds with the boost clock amount and the frequency here and the 900 millivolts over here. So then once it lines up perfectly, what I want you to do is press Ctrl L, and then that's going to lock in the voltage with the frequency. And then what I want you to do is go out of here, just unlock the cog over here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to press apply, and then you're going to click the little save icon, and you're going to save it to your number one profile, and then you can lock it again. And then what I want you to do is from there you go back into Curve Editor, and then just flatten this line over here. It's a little bit time consuming, but just go ahead and flatten this line. And then what I want you to do is, now that it's at 900 millivolts and it's matched up to your frequency, your boost clock frequency, so technically it's at the highest frequency that it can perform. And what we're going to do now is we're going to test to see if we can go lower than 900. So go out of MSI Afterburner, just minimize it, play your most demanding game for about 10 to 15 minutes. If it's not crashing, then you should be fine. And then I want you to come back into MSI Afterburner, go back into the Curve Editor, and then from 900 you're gonna, whatever the boost clock was, you're gonna go to 875. It's going to be this little dot over here, and then whatever your boost clock was, you're just going to line it up as before, and then you're going to press Ctrl L, and then you're just going to straighten this little line here. Okay, and then you press apply, save to profile number one. And then I want you to minimize MSI Afterburner, play your most demanding game for about 15 to 20 minutes. If there are no crashes, I want you to come back into MSI Afterburner, go into the Curve Editor, and then from 875 I want you to go to 850, and then find the corresponding dot and match it up with your boost clock frequency again. So now we effectively dropping the voltage, which is going to lower the temperature, and obviously we are locking it at your boost clock frequency to so it's technically like an overclock. And then go out. Right, so then you're going to press Ctrl L corresponding with 850 and your frequency. And then once you press Ctrl L, what I want you to do is hit apply, save one, play your most demanding game for about 15 to 20 minutes. And if you don't experience any crashes, I want you to repeat the process, come into the Curve Editor, then find the dot corresponding with 825, match with your frequency, and then just continue repeating this process until you get to a crash. Once you get to a crash, you know that you can't go lower than that frequency. That means that frequency is crashing your laptop and that voltage is too low. So then what I want you to go do is go up 25 to the previous stable voltage, and then that is how you find out what your undervolt is. So for me, my boost clock frequency is 1875 megahertz, and the lowest voltage that I can achieve is 850 millivolts. Anything lower than that and my game start crashing. So effectively what I've done is I've dropped the voltage between 150 to 100 millivolts, and that's lowered my temperatures quite nicely. So guys, it's a trial and error. Just repeat the process until you get a crash. Once you get a crash, go up 25 millivolts, lock it in with Control and L, line all these dots up here, line up all these dots here, close this off, press apply, save, 1, lock, and then you've undervolted and overclocked your GPU. That brings us to step number 6. So go to your GPU optimization folder again, and then I want you to right click on interrupt policy _ x64. And basically what this program is we're going to be running your GPU off the second and the third core of your CPU, because by default all your programs are set to run off your first core. So it's going to cause latency. By running it off the second and the third core, you're reducing latency. So go ahead and just run that as administrator. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show you all the go through all the steps with you. I'll just explain it because it's going to crash my recording software. So just run as administrator. Okay, and then what I want you to do is find your graphics card. There we go, there's my card over here, Nvidia GeForce GTX 1650. Just press OK. Every time it shows a little red cross, just click OK, and then set mask. So I've got a quad core with 4 cores and 4 threads. So I set mine to CPU 2, CPU 3, CPU 4, CPU 5. That's basically core 2 and 3, and then the corresponding threads with that. Because all the programs run off the first core and the first thread. So by moving it onto the second and the third core, what we're doing is reducing latency. So if I press OK, it's going to crash my driver. So just go ahead and press OK. It's going to just for everything else, just press OK, OK, OK until it gets until no more prompts pop up, and then once that's the case, you can press done. For step number 7, we're going to make sure that the GPU is set into MSI mode. So go to the GPU optimization folder again, and then just find MSI mode. Right click that, run as administrator. Okay, and then what you want to do here is just make sure that everything is set to undefined, and then the only thing that you want to run in high interrupt priority is your Nvidia GPU. So if anything else is in high priority, just untick it and don't put it to low or blah 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 blah, just put it to undefined, and then just make certain that your GPU is set to high priority. Once that's done, just click apply, press OK or exit. For step number 8, go back into your GPU optimization folder, and then for Nvidia Profile Inspector, just right click that, run as administrator. And then what we're going to be doing here is disabling Ansel. Ansel is the overlay that gets used by the GeForce experience. Beyond that, I can't give you a fantastic description. Just know by doing this, you're gonna net yourself 1 or 2 extra FPS per game. So then what I want you to do is just scroll down until you find Nvidia predefined Ansel usage. It will be in other, and then just click on that, and then so by default it's on Ansel allow. So what I want you to do is select Ansel allow disallowed. Select that, apply, exit. Alright guys, we're getting close to the end, don't worry. For step number 9, what I want you to do is go to your Windows icon, click on settings, then go to gaming, And then what I want you to do is make sure that game mode is on, and then click on graphic settings. And if hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is not selected, go ahead and select it. It's going to prompt you to restart your computer. Restart your computer, then do the same. Go to the Windows icon, go to settings, go to gaming, and in gaming what I want you to do is come to graphic settings and then browse, and then what I want you to do is select all the executables for your games, and then once you've entered all your games executables, you click on the icon and then you go to options and you make certain it's running in high performance. Once you've done that, click save, make sure that all the games that you selected are running at high performance, and then you can close this off. For step number 10, go to that GPU optimization folder and then just find game DVR registry tweaks. So I'll just show you what this is. It's going to disable power throttling, it's going to disable network throttling and improve system responsiveness. And then game scheduling affinity, it's going to set to run on all cores, background only, no, because you want it running in the foreground. This sets it to the highest clock rate, sets it to the highest GPU priority, and then also disable menu show delay. So just to show you quickly, if I click on something, it opens up immediately. Doesn't make the desktop faster, but it makes everything appear a little bit faster in the desktop. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and merge, and then it's going to merge this to your registry. And once that's done, just go ahead and restart your computer, and that's going to take us to the next step. Alright guys, this is going to bring us to step 11. What we're going to be doing in this step is we're going to be putting all our games into permanent state of high priority on the CPU scheduler. So in the description of the video, there's going to be a link saying code for regedit high priority. What I want you to do is copy that code. Just copy it. Okay, and then on your desktop, just press the Windows key and R, and then type in regedit. And then here at the top, I want you to just select everything, paste in that code, enter, and then it's going to bring you to image file execution options. So from here, what you need to do is find the executable for whichever game you want to put into high priority. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Spider-Man Remastered as an option or as an example. So as you can see, this is my executable. So it's capital SPIDER hyphen capital MAN, and with the executable there's always an EXE at the end. So what I'm going to do now, as you can see, I've already got Spider-Man EXE over here. But what you do is you create a new key, and then once you've created that new key, you're going to be creating a new key within that key. So in the first new key that you created, what you want to do is you want to rename it to whatever game executable name it was. In my case, it's Spider-Man EXE. And in that key that you created in this key, I want you to rename that perf options, capital P, capital O. And in perf options, what you're going to do is you're going to create a new D word, and that new D word you're going to rename CPU priority class, capital C, capital P, capital C. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to modify it, and you're going to give it a value of 3. You're going to press OK, and forevermore, whatever game you put for whatever game, so in my case it's Spider-Man EXE, every time I open up Spider-Man Remastered, it's going to be in high priority now. So let me just show you quickly. Okay, so let me just show you. Task manager, details, Spider-Man, priority. As you can see, it starts off in high priority. So this is going to be nice and beneficial for games that are quite CPU heavy. It might smooth out your gameplay and just make things run a little bit smoother and maybe net you 1 or 2 FPS. Right guys, that's going to bring us finally to our last step. So go to your GPU optimization folder. And then what I want you to do is highlight the bits and highest performance POW file, and as well as install power plan. And then just copy this to your desktop, and it's important that you copy it to your desktop. So just move this over here and move this over here. So don't press run. What I want you to do is right click and then press edit. And then power config dash import C users. So what you need to do is change administrator to your computer's name. And the reason why I say you must leave it on your desktop is once you change this to your computer name, the rest of the address of this will automatically register and install that power plan for you. So just minimize this, and what you do is you go to your C drive, go to users, and then just find out what your username is. So mine is Justin G15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to Justin G15. Then I'm just going to save this, close this off, and then merely just run it as administrator. And now, as you can see, it's installed the bits and highest performance file plan for me. And then from there, the reason why I load this is I've not found a way to load the ultimate performance power plan anymore. And the bits and highest performance power plan is exactly the same as the ultimate performance power plan. So that's why I'm recommending this power plan. So you got to change plan settings, just select never, 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 never. Save changes, change advanced power settings, and then on slideshow just pause and available, wireless adapter settings, power saving mode, maximum performance, sleep, just go never, never. USB settings, USB selective suspend setting, just on battery and plugged in, disabled and disabled. PCI Express, link state power management, just put off and off. Processor power management, minimum processor state 100 and 100%. System cooling policy, just go active and active. And lastly, maximum processor state, just go on battery 100%, plugged in 100%. And then if you have display, just turn off display after never never. Adaptive display, just go off and off. Once that's done, you can hit apply, press OK, and guess what? We're done. Alright guys, for those of you that have stuck up the whole video, thank you so much for watching. I'm not going to say I hope it gives you better performance. I know it's going to give you better performance. So yeah, well done on completing the video. Enjoy the extra performance. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. If you haven't subbed to the channel just yet, please go ahead and subscribe. But most importantly, guys, it's people like you that make a difference. Have a good day. Cheers.